When I had my GCSE exams, I was extremely confident when I was going into that exam hall, and I managed to achieve all nines. But I didn't start out like this. I started off afraid and fearful of what would happen if I failed in the exam hall. And it wasn't until I learnt this strategy and this method to translate fear into confidence that I actually stopped having too much fear. Now, first of all, your problem, or what you look at as your problem, is having fear. But you need to realize that fear is your friend. Fear is your friend because if you did not have fear, you would not have something pushing you to do better. You would not have something pushing you to improve and work hard for your GCSEs. Fear is the most basic cause of human operation. It's the most basic thing which pushes us to do things. So you need to treat fear like your friend, because you can use this fear to think, okay, what if I don't get all nines in my GCSEs? What if I fail? What if I attempt it but I do not achieve? Well, that should push you to push even harder, to make your attempt even greater, to try your best for achieving all nines, and that will push you to do more work, and through that you end up becoming more confident, because confidence is built on proof. Now, proof in this case is you knowing that you can perform well. So confidence in this scenario comes from you knowing that you will do well, and that comes from working hard. That comes from doing the past paper and seeing yourself do well, and that builds confidence. So you can make this fear, you can use it for your advantage. You can make this seemingly bad thing and turn it around to become something beneficial. There's an analogy which I've heard from, I think, Mike Tyson, and he says, fear is like a fire. If you feel it too much, it can destroy you, it can burn you out. But if you use it, if you can control it, you can use it to do better. And that works because a fire, for example, if you don't control it, if you constantly keep fueling it, it just becomes bigger and bigger, and then eventually it's out of your control and it destroys you. It becomes destructive for everything. And that's what fear can do. If you allow fear unchecked to constantly grow, it will destroy you, it will make you lose, it will make you fail in your attempt to achieve all nines, and that is not ideal. So instead, we should control it, we should let it work for us, and we use fear to drive us to work harder. A specific scenario of this was back in April of last year. I was thinking to myself, how am I going to possibly cover all the content for all subjects that I'm doing to achieve all nines? And I thought, what if I did make it out? What if I did achieve all nines? Instead of being focused on failing, I thought, okay, I'm afraid of failing. How can I make sure that doesn't happen then? Because I'm afraid, I will make sure that failure does not happen. I will do so much work that failure is not possible, that failure does not become something we consider. And so that drove me to work harder. That drove me to do so much work that I became confident. I was confident in my work. I was confident in my ability to perform in these exams. I became confident, and therefore I was able to do better. This is helpful because with confidence and knowledge in your ability, in your capability to do well, which is proven by your previous successes, confidence will drive you to perform well, and you will not only be not afraid, first of all, when you have exam days, you will go into that exam hall excited. You will go into that exam hall excited to do your absolute best and crush that paper, because you have done it so much and done so much work that you've proven to yourself you can do well and you will do well, and you're excited for this to happen. So what this leads you to do in terms of action is just to do more work, more revision. And first of all, you should be doing that right now. You're very close to your GCSEs, so you should be doing that if you're doing your GCSEs this year. And so you can use this method of translating fear into confidence just by doing that work, just by putting in the work, instead of being stuck thinking, how on earth am I going to get all nines? And instead of that, thinking, what if I started doing the work? What if I did the work? What if I put in all the effort and I did achieve all nines? And that is better than the alternative where fear beats you, where fear blows up into a massive fire, which is destructive and makes you completely afraid, unable to do any work. Control it and let it allow you to win. Use it to your advantage. This is how I used fear to become confident. This is why fear is your friend. Without fear, there's nothing. The alternative to this is you don't have fear, and nothing is driving you to do better. Nothing is driving you to work harder. Nothing is driving you to consider that you will have some sort of slip up in your exams and not achieve all nines. So actually, fear is your friend, because this is providing an opportunity for you to do better, for you to turn something bad into an advantage, rather than having no fear and deluding yourself completely into believing you will do the best when actually you will not. This is why fear is so helpful for people. This is why fear has been evolved as a survival mechanism over thousands of years. This is how we can use it now to achieve all nines for our GCSEs. And you can use this starting now, because you will use that fear to drive yourself to work harder, to do more work, and to start working now instead of later. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching.